Gavin Rossdale from Bush. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. Thanks for joining me with you and your audience.
You've got a great new album out on July 18 called I Beat Loneliness. How do you usually feel on album release day? Are you nervous, excited?
Yeah, I find it's really fun because you have this great honeymoon period when people don't know the record. And so you think it's great, you hope, and can't wait for people to hear it, and no one's dampened your spirits because they haven't heard it. Then you move into the second phase of that, which is where we are now, where I do a ton of interviews, but it's been universally um, amazing the reaction to the record, from country to country and press the interview to interview. It's been this very consistent, you know, praise for the record, which is you don't, you want that for every record, but it feels really good. So I guess it's funny because you asked that question. I realized that I've blocked out all other releases, like they ceased to exist. They were like wiped from the memory banks. I just it's all about this one and just actually trying to get the message across of what this is all about, because I think I hope that it's a worthy gift to people. I wanted it is a I wanted it to be a gift, like a sort of a consequence of all this dedication to music and to connecting with people and to singing and to like trying to sing in tune and write good melodies and make songs. I want to excite people with the music, like I did this today. I sat downstairs and I was listening to Wet Legs record. I really like that. There's Wolf Alice, listening to that record, and it's just fun when people make songs that are really good, and you get it. You just think, wow, that's amazing. So I was looking for like meaning in my life, when I was before I made the record, I was like, who are you? What are you? What's your role? What's your function? If you're gonna make another record, I don't normally think of my in that subjective terms, or objective terms, I suppose. Actually, I mean, and I really assessed myself. I suppose I'm just trying to get better and trying to think clearer, and so I was like, what's the best thing I can offer? You know, it's not well. That's from all the conversations I've had with people that like the band, the people I meet backstage, at the meet and greets, people outside venues, people in the street, people at restaurants. The one thing that really happens to me is people come up to me and talk to me about the effect of the lyrics and the songs for them and their emotional state. People get really intense with me really quick. Um, it's not, it's never like, you got really nice hair and thank you for having a great hairstyle, or I love your shoes. It's like I was fucking really down and out, and your song saved me. I've had firemen, I hear your song breathe in, breathe out. Or as I saved someone out of a burning building and ran through fire, that's what I could hear your song. Or someone I really thought I was going to commit suicide and listen to your music. And I decided not to, and you helped me through that. But of course, every time I say this is what you did, or whatever achievement you've made is your own, but to be part of some soundtrack like that. So therefore, it gave me a real sense of purpose. When I made the record, I thought, okay, normally halfway through the record, I do this thing where I reflect that I've spent 5 or 6 songs saying and most of the time, I think this, I think that, you did this to me, you did that to me. And I was like, so I normally veer off and I find a subject, or I find a cause, something that I'm thinking about that is the genesis of the song, not how I feel like. And yet on this one, I thought that's what people like the most. That's what people really connect to. So when you mine the gold, when you get the gold, that's what they like. So I kind of just made quite a self-indulgent record, really. I
Yeah.
just thought, just mind your own business. It's a good
Oh,
one.
Scars is a great album opener. Rebel with a Cause is a great way to end the album. How important was the track order?
Well, thanks for saying that, because again, traditionally, There's a collection of songs, and and quite honestly, the best. It's never thematic. People say to me when I finish records, one thing that through the years, you chose this thing. Like, no, 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 no. I just chose the best songs. I got a best tunes to whistle to, and you hope there's the one that's kind of deep and meaningful versus the one that is less deep and meaningful. Obviously, I try and make every song deep and meaningful because why not? Um, but yeah, it's like with this record, um, there is a thread because when the first song I wrote was "I Beat Loneliness," and I thought that was a really wild title, and it was just so beautifully wrong and evasive and impossible, um, that made me like it even more. I always I like broken people. I'm attracted to people. I have broken people around me a lot who better at it now, but I used to attract them like a lot. People just, take my empathy and run with it. And but this so when I got I Beat Loneliness, it threw me into a world that I liked, that I thought was valuable, I could mine it. Because we can only be the best version of ourselves is the deepest version of ourselves. That is the most unique view. In this age of unique where everything is homogenized and coming under threat of AI, you have to be unique. And so there's no greater unique quality than just forgetting other people and just asking yourself, saying things yourself. So I just try to be so honest with myself. Like I'd sit in the studio, I'd make these bits of music and things I liked, and then I just would like ask myself questions. These were like responses to questions. I'd ask myself, "What do you feel? What do you think? Why does that bother you? That was annoying, right? What is that about?" And then I take those answers, I take those feelings, and I just take all the wrongs that I felt wronged. Everybody feels wronged. We're all crazy. We all feel wronged. Everyone else is annoying and doesn't quite get our point of view, and that's the journey for everyone. So it's wild to dive deep into yourself and come up into a pool of everyone. And that's kind of what it felt like. Like if I had tried to write a universal record, I think it would have really failed. I tried to write the most bone, no skin, no muscle, no just bone of feelings, the kind of base of everything. And it's wild because the truth is that's where everyone lives. And that's why I wrote a song, "We're All the Same on the Inside." I'm here to save your life was because someone said to me, "Oh my God, your music saved my life." I said, "No, it didn't. It's ridiculous. You saved your life." And then I thought, what a beautiful thing if you could sing to someone, "I'm here to save your life." You're looking after someone and you say, maybe this song will help you, just this fucking song is going to teach us defiance. We're going to rise up in face of it. I think the modern life is really hard for a lot of people. There's a lot of suicides, a lot of sadness, a lot of disconnect. A lot of people don't have a great life. A lot of people have to lie all the time about how bad they feel. Everyone is crazy. Everyone has issues. Everyone came from terrible parents, even if they didn't mean to be terrible. There's things that people did that they um, unwittingly, hurt us all because everyone is broken. And that's just the truth. And, you know, you just go through this life just trying to correct all the things that possibly your own prejudices, from your own family life. You get that when you're like 17, 18, 19, suddenly realize, hang on, that was nonsense what they were saying. You get move into that world and then you move in, and through each decade, as I'm sure you appreciate, I think you get more clarity and more focus, and you become a better editor. So when I make this record now, there's no artifice, there's no passengers. It's just like like any song will fuck with you. Any song will fuck with you. It's just be like, nah, fuck you, I'm here. There's a reason for me to be here. There's no passengers, which I think is the most exciting thing for a record.
Yeah. Was it hard to say it's done and let it go?
No, sometimes it's annoying because I don't like the way we mix. I don't like mixing. Eric mixes it, then he sends it to me. I say what I think, then he amends it. It's so much better when I'm in the room. I have really big opinions about the mix. I change mixes a lot, and I know what I want. I'm really acute. I'm in, I'm potentially annoying until you get it right. When it's gotten right, I'm like easy street. If it's not right, and Chris is the same. He's a jerk until you're right, until it's right. And sometimes, so I don't like the process that we go through, to be honest, but we get to a point where, yeah, it's done. And I'm not one of those people that gets lost or goes in circles or gets lost in a maze. I have this really weird ability. Like, I used to be more proud of it and thought that the lyrics were done, they were done. I was actually wrong. I needed to edit more. I really got into I was beginning Jack Kerouac, first thought, best thought, don't fuck with it. Just leave it, that's what you meant. And then when I matured, and as a writer, I was like, you edit all the time, you idiot. You're not that good. Nobody's that good. That's why I'm editing. But life is amazing when you're young and dumb and no horizon. Then you reach a point now, I make a record. Of course, I can continue to make records for, I can make another 20 years of records. I don't know if I would suffer that on people, but um, it's just about like making vital statements and and then using all the wisdom and accrued and experience accrued to this point. It's sort of obviously I know the funny thing for me is that I've got such a manic stage show that as I kind of get older, I know I can't really, Paul Simon playing at 82. I worked last night with Tyler Bates. I did a song for Criminal Minds. So I was in the studio singing last night, and he saw Paul Simon. We did Sound of Silence for Criminal Minds. It was really fun to do it with him. Tyler's brilliant, and yeah, I saw Paul Simon last night, and I was like, oh my god, like there's no way I'd be doing Bush at that point. Would seem ridiculous. So I'm not going to do that. But I still feel really vital and strong, and like I love to present the show in a physical way. I really, it's a physical being. It's everything. It's like you know, it's just, it's a physical feeling because it's like everything I feel and then everything the guys feel, when they play, it's physical. So anyhow, so that makes me be a better editor because I realized that, okay, I might do it for like, a few more years yet. I've got a few more vital records, then I'm going to fuck off.
Yeah. What do you like in the studio? Are you fussy with your vocal takes? Do you agonize over inflections, or do you just like to get the takes early and fresh?
What I do is I don't like to be told much. Eric, sometimes, will say something, I'm like, I really have an intrinsic sense of what I need in a song. So it's like my life's work. So when I go in there, I'm always warmed up before I get to the studio. I get in there and I just want to slay it. So what I generally do is sing each section of a song 4 times, you know? Really go for it. I know what Eric likes. I know when he says, "Yeah, that was it," and I'm thinking to myself, "Well, yeah, that's what I was waiting for too." Because it's so physical. You got to warm your voice up right and then land. So I have a very intrinsic sense of when it's done. And then what happens is that actually he then chooses. He chooses. He edits last 3 records, and I have no sense in changing. He's great. We love him. So. Um, I'll just sing the song 4 times in each section, and then see what we need. He may ask for a theatrical one, but I'm always doing it like I'm one of those people that's sort of collaborative, but I don't want to be told too much because I'm a punk. So it's like but I, it's totally justifiable if I need to be told. So my thing is make it amazing and people say less. The better I am, the less people say. If I falter and I don't know, what do you think of that? People are all over me like a rash, and suddenly I'm not making any decisions. I've seen it with everyone. I saw it with, you know, I saw that for many years of someone being told what to do in a studio. It's like, phew, it's like the biggest insult to me. Like, I remember when I first worked with Bob Rock, he had a studio in Maui, right? And there are two studio. His studio is a main, where the main control room is, and then down the pathway where he has all his guitars and all his amps. He puts the vocal, the microphone in there, right? And so when I went to sing them the first time, I did a vocal. I did a vocal. I was doing a vocal on a song, and like the first take, like I hadn't even got to the chorus or didn't have something stopped. Um, he said, "Hey, when you get to the high notes, maybe you want to smile a bit, you know." So I this thing, and he said something to me, and I was like, "But," and I went back out, and I said, "Bob, can we meet?" So we met halfway on the path, you know, because we just started working together. I didn't want to have a conversation in front of anyone else. It was me, him, and the engineer. So we meet in the middle. I said, "Listen, Bob, just so you know, if I step up to the vocal mic, it's like the FA Cup final. Like I want this take to be the one. This one is going to slay. So just let me have four takes, then a theatrical take. Then you can tell me anything you want." So that's how we got to it. And it was my thing was to never get to being told what to do. Just I don't know why. The stupid idiot in me was like, you know, it was all about that. But yeah, it's just so. That's how I work in the studio. But it is, you know, they're all really helpful. Eric is super helpful because what Eric does is he's really great at notes. And sometimes if I'm writing or he'll always remember if I've done something good. You know, I might forget it. So he's very musical and really helpful like that. He'll say, "Don't forget you had that bit." Oh yeah, that bit.
Yeah.
Uh,
Um, I'll finish with one question. I want you to rank these three things. Gavin Rossdale has a new global #1 hit with this album, wins a Grammy. Rossdale wins Wimbledon. Gavin Rossdale wins a Michelin star for his food.
well, since I actually try my very hardest to live in the real world, I would feel that the popular record would be the correct victory. Although either of the other two would be fantastic, but you'd need to have a restaurant. I'd have a restaurant, and the thing about chefs and chefing and cooking and cooks, and I am in the deepest admiration for everyone in the restaurant trade. Hospitality is amazing to me. Um, they have to work. It's the only entities that work harder than musicians, because there's the similarity of the kind of consistency with the food. You know, presenting for successful restaurants. The whole point they're based on consistent dishes. You know, Monday, Friday, Thursday, Sunday, same dish. Same with us. We can't go, and we don't go. My favorite thing about my band, my proudest reflection of the guys that I play with is their consistency, their power and their consistency, and they never falter. We we have earthquakes backstage. We have fires, we have floods, and yet no matter what, when they play, they're just so strong. It makes everything all right.
Well, Gavin, it's been great to chat and all the best with the album. And hopefully, it's not too long before we see you down here in Australia.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's February. See you in February.
Thanks, buddy.
Cheers. Bye.